Good morning, all of you. Today we will study the second chapter from your NCERT book, that is Polynomials. So, coming to this, we will study about three topics today. First, introduction of polynomials. Second, types of polynomials. Third is zero of polynomials. Now, first let's go to the introduction part and see what actually polynomial is. Polynomial are type of polynomials by number of terms, according to the number of terms. So these are some type of polynomials according to number of terms. This you have done before also. First, let's say if the number of terms are 0, there is no term, or actually there is a 0, then it is a zero polynomial. When there is some constant term like 1, 2, 3, 4, then that is non-zero constant polynomial. This you have studied in class 9th also. Now next, when there is only one term, that is monomial. When there is two terms, there is binomial. When there are three terms, that is trinomial. Over here it should be three terms. There is some mistake over here. There should be 1, 2 and one more term should be there. Three terms. Going to the next part. Types of polynomials by its degree. Now, as you know, what degree is in a polynomial? The highest power of an equation is known as its degree. So over here, let's say for the constant, we will do degree is 0. A raised power 0 would be 1. Further 5, then degree is 0. Degree is 0 when it is 1. Now linear degree equals to 1 when the degree is 1, like ax. Over here this is constant, basically might be, that's why they have taken a. Instead of a we can take it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this will be correct. Let's the degree be 1 over here. Let's see ax plus b equals, where a equals to not 0, a never will be equals to 0. Over here degree of x, which is a variable, is 1. Therefore this is a linear equation. Now over here quadratic equations, if the degree is 2, ax square bx, where a never equals to 0. See over here the degree of x, which is a variable, the highest power of x is 2. Therefore it is a quadratic equation. Now to the cubic one, when the degree will be 3, ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, where a never equals to 0, and you can clearly see over here ax cube, that highest degree of x is 3. The power of x, which is variable, is 3. Therefore this will be a cubic equation. Now when the degree is 4, ax raised to power 4 bx cube plus cx square plus dx plus e equals to 0, e where a never equals to 0. Over here you see that x has a maximum degree of 4. This x is a variable and it has a power 4. So such kind of equations are called biquadratic equations. Now if we'll go further and see how these type of equations drawn on a graph, or how this works. Now if the degree is just constant, like what will be the equation of this line? Any idea? This line will be equals to y equals to some constant. Okay, it will never touches the x-axis. The number of time it will touch the x-axis, those points on which they will touch will be considered as zeros of those equation. About zeros we will study further, but point is, whenever a line or whenever the graph which we are drawing, whenever it will cut the x-axis, those point on which it will cut the x-axis will consider its zeros, and they will be according to its degree. If it is not cutting the x-axis, that means it has 0 degree. If it is cutting the x-axis for once, that means it has 1 degree. If it is cutting the x-axis for 2 times, then it will be having 2 degrees. There is one more contradiction over here. At times, both the 2 points are same, then it will cut for 1 time. But whenever the graph is in parabolic shape, this shape is known as parabolic. The quadratic shape is known as parabolic. Whenever the graph is in parabolic shape, it will always have 2 degrees and it will be quadratic function. Over here it is cutting for 3 times, therefore the degree will be 3, and this is cubic function. Over here it is cutting for 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, therefore it will be biquadratic function, degree is 4. Over here it is cutting for 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, therefore it will be quintic function. Do remember this word, quintic function, whenever it will cut for 5 times and the degree will be 5. Let's see this on some live on graphs also. This is a graph for you all. Let's say first linear equation, 4x plus 5, 4x plus 5, and you can easily see it is cutting the x-axis at this point, or if I take it as 2, it will cut at minus 2. Okay, because x will be equals to 8 by 4, that will gives you minus 8 by 4, that will gives you minus 2. Now take, this is a linear equation. Linear equation will always have a straight line graph. Now let's make it quadratic. See over here, when I have drawn this 4x square, this will be 4x square equals to 0. It is giving a point on 0. Now the shape of this graph is parabola, but it is cutting at only one point. Why? Because it will have both the points as same, but both the zeros are same in this condition. I'll make it further. Now 5x, 4x square plus 5x equals to 0. This will be the equation. It will cut at 2 points, this and this. This is clearly showing that it will have an equation of 2 degree. Next, let's make it cubic. Now see, this is cubic when all the 3 points are just same, or it will be all the 3 points are 0. Okay, over here what it is cutting. Okay, now this is clear. 1, 2 and 3 points. To make it more clear, let's take a big value. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. We can change it further. This will be 1 point, 2 point and 3 points. So it is clearly shown that it will be cutting at 3 points. This will be your cubic equation. When I reduce this out, if I make it positive, let's see what happens. It is again cutting at 1 point. All the 3 points are same, means the zeros of this equation will be, all 3 zeros will be same. This can also happen in the equations. Now take a biquadratic equation. Let's make it 8x. Now this graph is clearly, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points are there. So this will be a biquadratic equation. Now we will get back to our slides. So these are how these different equations will be shown on graph. It's simple. If it is cutting at 1 point on x-axis, it is linear. If it is cutting x-axis at 2 points, it will be quadratic. If it is cutting the x-axis for 3 points, it is cubic. If it is cutting the x-axis for more than 3 points, accordingly you can write the name of equation. Now this, what does this graph shows? What does this graph shows? You have to tell me the answer. In next class, what will this graph show? It is cutting at only 1 point, that is 0. Next, what are zeros of polynomial? Now, what are zeros? We are talking about zeros from past 5-10 minutes. So the value of variable which satisfies the equation or makes it zero means we have a variable. If we put some value of that variable so that the whole equation becomes zero or the equation gets satisfied, that value of it variable is known as zero. This is S, not ID. This is S. Next, on the basis of type of polynomials, we have number of zeros. There are different type of zeros according to the type of polynomials. There will be only one zeros for linear equation. For linear equation will always have one zero. Linear equation होता है एक ही zero होने वाला है. There will be max two zeros for quadratic equation. इसमें max two zeros इसलिए लिखा है. कई बारी दोनों के दोनों zeros क्या होते हैं? Same. Like if I write x square equals to 4, then I'll take under root 4, it will be minus and plus 4. For some, there different type equations will come in. Now next, there will be max 3 zeros for cubic equation. Now again max is written, maximum 3 zeros could be there, or all those 3 zeros could be same. So it will be touching the x-axis at one place, or it can touch the x-axis on 3 place maximum. But it will have 3 zeros. And for the next one, biquadratic, there will be 4 zeros. Now this relationship between zeros and coefficient of polynomial. This will be our last topic for today. Next we will continue in next session. After this you can easily do your first exercise, that is exercise number 2.1 from your NCERT booklet. This is for the exercise number 2.2. We will discuss this in our practice session, online session. If alpha and beta are zeros of quadratic equation. For linear equation, you know there will be one single zeros. The quadratic equation will have two zeros. We have considered those two zeros as alpha and beta. Okay, if alpha and beta are zeros of polynomial, then of equation ax square plus bx plus cx, then sum of zeros, this will be sum of zeros. Alpha plus beta is sum of zeros, will be always equals to negative coefficient of x upon coefficient of x square, and this is a product of zeros. Alpha into beta is product of zeros, that will be c upon a. C is constant term and a is coefficient of x square. This is variable, x square is variable, and next to variable is its coefficient. Next, for cubic equation, alpha, beta and gamma are zeros of cubic polynomial fx. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. This is a function. Then alpha plus beta and gamma. This is sum of roots. Again, sum of roots will be equals to minus b upon a, as it is shown above also. Minus b is basically coefficient of x square, and x a is coefficient of x cube. Next, alpha, beta, gamma, product of roots, that will be minus d upon a. D is basically constant term, and over here, though d is constant, but we are still taking a negative sign. Do remember, upon coefficient of x cube is x cube. We will take negative sign as it is, whatever be the value. If this is minus b square, then it will become minus b. Okay, minus b. If this was minus b square, accordingly, if the value is negative, we will put the negative over there, but these negative sign will remain as it is. And if there is another negative sign in between, they will get cancelled out. I'll show this out in a practice session. This is just to give you a briefing about how these equations work. Next, if alpha, beta, gamma, and this will be theta, are zeros of biquadratic polynomials, then how you will find that? This is actually not a part of your syllabus right now, but still you should have a brief knowledge about this. A small, just for a knowledge sake. This will be sum of roots minus b upon a, coefficient of x cube upon x is power 4. I'll teach you how you can find this for any equation. Product of roots will be e upon a, that is constant upon coefficient of a square. This is, we forgot to discuss this one also. This will be product of 2 and sum of them. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha will be equals to C upon A, that is coefficient term upon coefficient of A cube. Coefficient of x upon coefficient of b. Over here, alpha plus beta, gamma plus theta plus alpha beta plus gamma theta will be equals to coefficient of x square upon coefficient of x4.
This ends our topic for today, our lecture for today. For more such videos, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.